Hello and welcome to TV34 Studios. This is Tony. I'm in the studio today and just going to give you a little bit of a showcase of what my setup that I'm going to be using for doing the headshots. I've got flashpoint strobes that I'm going to be using. It's a flashpoint 300 over here. I've got connected, I've got a softbox on there. I've got a curved reflector over here. And I also have behind, I got a reflector back here that I can use to bounce a little bit of light onto the subject as well, sort of like a rim light. And also I've got another strobe over here, flashpoint 100 that I'm going to be using. And they're the same as the Godox lights, do the same exact thing, same equipment, same type of units that you can use to power everything. And what I like about especially the 100, they're battery powered, so you can use them on the go. They work really well on location. I've got to get the remote flash so I can fire it off and show you how that's set up. But this is the setup that I'm going to be using for doing the headshots. Let me just grab this flash unit real quick. The remote trigger. Okay, all right. This is the remote trigger that we're going to be using here. That's the remote. As you see, it's a Godox on there, but it fires everything off, all of the flashpoint units. So I can just turn that on and I can just fire it off. And there you have it. And what I'm going to be shooting with today is going to be my Canon mirrorless. I got the Canon R10 that I'm going to be using. I've got a 70-200 Canon lens that I'm going to be shooting with. One of the main things that I want to talk about that you don't always see a lot in studios, especially with a lot of the newer and upcoming photographers, is a light meter. Something that's very important when you're working in the studio. That's one good investment that you want to have is a light meter. It's going to make a really big difference in getting the correct exposure, because one of the things that I try to do is get the exposure right in the beginning while I'm working, so I don't have to do a whole lot in post-production unless I want to do some special effects and things like that. But a light meter is something really good to have. This one is a Polaris, and we can just set it up. Shutter speed is 1/25 of a second. I've got my ISO set at 100, so we can do a little quick test just to see what we get, just to show you how it works. And say, for example, if I've got my subject sitting over here, I can just have a seat and just get ready to put my flash up and turn the unit back on. Tells me F16 on that one. Let me see what I get on the background. Background is showing F8. And we'll do another one real quick. And we'll just do another one real quick with the flash unit. F16. So that tells you what to set the exposure at, and you're going to get pretty good exposure on it when you're using your flash meter, because it's going to tell you exactly what to set it at. So the camera is going to be completely on manual mode. Everything is going to be manual. Autofocus though on the lens. Make sure we get everything nice and sharp. This Canon R10 uses eye detection, so it's going to pick up everything very quickly. And it's going to make sure everything is very sharp with the image. I've got it on a nice little stand here that I can move it around and get vertical and horizontal shots. The one thing that I want to talk about that I sort of dislike about the mirrorless cameras as opposed to a DSLR is that now the mirrorless cameras are very good, don't get me wrong, they're excellent, but they chew up a lot of battery power. They really eat up battery power because a lot of times you're using the screen to view everything. So when you got that screen open, that's going to eat up a lot of power. I like shooting through the viewfinder most of the time because you can brace yourself like a tripod so you get a nice steady shot. But when I'm using a tripod, it won't make that much of a difference. But like I said, the only thing is that with these mirrorless cameras, you're going to eat up a lot of battery power, so it's always good to have an extra battery just in case. One thing that I like about the DSLRs is that, like my Nikon, for example, my Nikon D3300, I've had it sitting up for months and the battery is still just fine. I don't have any issues with it at all. This, I can start shooting and before the end of the day, I need to charge this battery up again. So it really makes a difference. So you want to make sure that you got plenty of batteries, especially using the mirrorless cameras. But just wanted to show you a quick setup, and I'm gonna see if we can see if I can, probably won't be able to do it right now because I'm working here by myself, but I was gonna try to do a quick little test shot. But I'll just pop off the flash again, and matter of fact, I'm going to set up the other flash unit that I have over here so I can light up the background even more. So let me set that up. Do a quick test with that. Okay, so that fired off everything. Yep, that's firing off everything really good. So this will give you really good exposure. And then since I added another flash unit to the background, we're going to go in and meter the background with that other flash unit on there just to see if there's a difference in the exposure on the background. So let's just try that real quick. Okay, there's the background here. Still getting F8. Let me try that again. That one didn't fire off. It said F4. I know that's not right. Okay, still giving me F8. Yep, everything is still firing off. So just want to double check. Anytime you change the lighting, you want to make sure you check the exposure to make sure everything is still what you want. So let me see if I still got that correct. Flash, okay. Do another quick test just to see how it's lighting and it's working good. So this shows you here on the light meter, it shows you the exposure and everything. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, that's a little bit better. You can see what the exposure is. And this is going to help you out tremendously when you're shooting in the studio and you want to try to get as much as you can correct while shooting. One other thing that I'm going to do is I've got a ring light in here that I'm using just for lighting for the video. But I'm going to turn the room lights off, and I'm going to turn on the lights from the flash units themselves, just so you can see the difference in the lighting. So let me do that. And the cool thing about this particular unit, the Gold Ox or flash point that you're using, you can turn the modeling lights on just from the flash unit itself. And just it's got a little button on here. I don't know if you can see that says MOD, and that's for modeling light. Just hit that and it turns the modeling lights on. You can see it over there. You can definitely see the one in the back, and you can see the one in the front here is lit up too. So both of the modeling lights are on, and we can just do another test. There we go. It's working just fine. And if you don't want to use the modeling lights, they're good so you can see where the lights and shadows are falling and everything like that. But if you don't want to use them, you can just turn it off, and it turns them right back off, and we can just go right back to doing what we were normally doing. Okay, so let me turn the room lights back on. Okay, so that's a quick setup to show you how I'll be doing my headshots. You know, me and my son Austin will be in here. We have a special going on right now with headshots, $75 through the month of April. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing headshots for $75. Get you a nice deal, get you some great headshots done, a few edited shots that you can have for your portfolio, you can use for your social media and things like that. So come on down through TV34 Studios. We're in Southfield. We can hook you up. We can get you with everything that you need to have done. So this is a little setup that I'm going to be using for the headshots.